Somewhere new today. This isn't Logan Canyon. This is actually called Dry Canyon. And wow, the sky's really beautiful this morning. I've been coming a little bit later because it's been so dark and cold in the morning. So this is part of the Logan City Trails. Nice. All right, you are here. And it looks like we're just gonna go up this way. Check out the view of the valley. Pretty impressive. And I wanted to show you this big water catchment. And they built this. It was actually kind of controversial because what happened is that there were a bunch of houses built right near the mouth of this canyon, and they got flooded. And it turns out that it was sort of a known flood area. And so they ended up building this huge water catchment and flood prevention system for those houses. But it was super expensive, and some people were suggesting that maybe people shouldn't build houses in flood areas rather than having taxpayers have to foot the bill to build remediation projects like this. Anyway, lots of different views about that, and now I'm heading up this beautiful canyon. I haven't gone very far, but I'm awfully curious about what this is. So we have a solar panel and a bird feeder. And it says, attention, this feeder is part of a scientific research project to better understand and protect our local songbirds. So I'm walking along, I'm seeing another one of those bird cages. And I'm just wondering, protect the local songbirds from what? I am really curious what the songbirds need protection from up here in the mountains. I'll have to maybe do some research and see if I can figure it out. So I found this article in the local paper that says a USU researcher is studying the migration survival factors of the colorful lazuli bunting. So that's what those cages are all about. As you can see, this is a relatively flat road, and motor vehicles are not allowed on it, but horses are. So occasionally there are nice big piles of horse poo that you kind of have to navigate around. But it really is a beautiful canyon. The lower part, as its name suggests, is very dry, but when you get up a little bit further, there is a small creek that runs in the spring that is really, can make it quite green up further, not nearly as dry. I just want to pan up and show those clouds. Wow. I love the fall skies. I just wanted to pause and show you some of the amazing rock formations in this canyon. It's really, they're big and craggly and bold. They look like they could be protecting a castle. And the same formation from a slightly different angle. Let me just pan up here so you can get a sense of the majesty. I've come to this gate and it's heavily weighted, and I believe it's to keep cattle up in the canyon. I came a couple years ago and there were so many cows just roaming around, and so I think this is, somebody must lease this land and use it for grazing cattle. This gate is obviously supposed to remain closed, and it's probably because they don't want the cows escaping into the city. Again, the sky, oh, just amazing. So another thing that I'm seeing is all these areas that it looks like campfires, but in fact it's not. As you can see, the mountainside is just pocked with them, these areas of burning. And so clearly some kind of land management is going on here where they're doing burns of some kind. I'm just not sure what it is they're burning. The local news always delivers. They are burning piles of juniper trees that were cut down previously. It says the controlled burn is a coordinated effort between the Forest Service and local firefighters. The other thing that I'm noticing about these burned areas is that most of them are marked with cairns, these piles of rocks. There's one here. Let me zoom in. See one there. So that must be how they're marking where they want to do the burns, maybe. It's such a beautiful morning, and I'm trying really hard to be good. It's a work day, so I promised myself I would only come a mile and then head home because in addition to it being a work day, I'm also recovering from a knee injury. So I'm trying to let that heal and not hike too much, but it's absolutely so beautiful that it's taking all of my willpower to turn around and go home instead of spending the day walking into the wilds of dry canyon. So here I am. I'm being good. I'm gonna turn around, and some other day when I have more time, I'll come and do a video of the second part of Dry Canyon. But look at that sky. Oh, it's so amazing. It's so hard to turn around. As I'm walking along here, I'm thinking about a video that somebody made yesterday. They were on a trail very much like this, pretty darn close to where I live, and came upon a cougar, and they actually were stalked by it for about 6 minutes.
Holy shit. No, go away! Go away! No! No! You, dude! Holy...
It made me remember that even though this is absolutely beautiful, peaceful area, that there's always a chance of a rattlesnake or a bear or a cougar. And so it's always good to be alert and aware. And in this particular case, if you come across baby cougars, get away. Because the problem with this guy is that he saw some adorable little baby cougars, and instead of retreating immediately, he decided to check them out, which is absolutely what you shouldn't do. But I don't blame him, because if I saw cougars, my first response would be, oh, they're so cute. Not, I'm going to be ripped apart by mama. Again, just another spectacular view of the valley. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see that's water right there. It's actually part of the sewage treatment plant. So you can see we are really close to town, and I'm just going to be quiet for a second. One of the drawbacks is that you can still hear sirens from the valley, so something's going on down there, and there's a bunch of sirens and very audible up here. So it doesn't feel quite like getting away the way Logan Canyon does. But it's so close to town that it can be really nice if you just want to get away really quickly for a short hike, like I'm doing today. One of the funny things about hikes is that you see random things like this. It just is like a bit of a spine. I don't know what kind of animal, probably a deer, but who knows? And it's just sort of sitting there on the trail. There are quite a few picnic tables near the mouth of the canyon, so this is a great place to come for a picnic. And I'm really proud of myself for turning around and not re-injuring my knee and getting home in time to get my work done like I'm supposed to. But it is such a beautiful morning that I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to come out here, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the trails. I wasn't kidding about bears. I just saw the sign, Bear Country. And one last view of the beautiful Logan Valley. I just want to scroll in on the Tabernacle. That's a landmark a lot of people are familiar with. That's the Mormon Tabernacle, and quite close to where I live. As we're leaving, I just wanted to give you an idea of how very close we are to Logan. Just come down this parking lot. And very far. Try not to go too fast because there are these nice big potholes. But as you can see, we just come down a little way and we're right to a neighborhood. And again, I just wanted to show you this is more flood mitigation efforts that they had to put in because these neighborhoods were built on a flood zone, in a flood zone. So here we are, right into Logan.